Good evening to everyone. Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. I'm your host, the CEO and founder of Walking This Way's Impact Voice, Furman Jackson Jr. I'm broadcasting once again from the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. We thank everybody for tuning in with us tonight here on another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. I'm very excited to be back with y'all one more time as we're live streaming right now on Facebook Live. So we encourage you to like, share, comment, share with everyone that you know. We're very excited to have some great men here on tonight's show, along with the co-host himself, Daquan. Daquan, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, because I know you're not a stranger. You've been hanging out with me on Wednesday night, so, brother, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey, good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? Thank you again for, tuning in with us on another episode of Walking the Ways podcast. And this is where you want to be for that good information and the times. So thank you.
Awesome. And it is, brother, I said this is already December the 7th, 2022. We know that this year is gone. We know this year is bypassed. It was just good to be able to when I got out today, before I got on tonight's podcast, I also want to give a big shout out to Miss Woods from New Focus. She donated to a financial gift to Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast on today. So big shout out to New Focus for that. So if y'all want to support the podcast, you can. I will post a link to where you want to see a financial donation, because we are about taking this product, this brand to the next level. We want to be able to get merchandise. We want to be able to get more equipment, things like that, to really to support the brand, of course. And got a chance to talk to my dad today before I got on the air. He's back home in Mobile, Alabama. I got a chance to talk to my mom today as well, man. Also, man, y'all honor your parents too. Honor your parents while they're alive as well. Give your parents their roses while they're alive. So I was making my best. Since I'm living here in Dallas, I said my parents back in Alabama, but I was making my effort to talk to them. I may not talk to them every day, but at least talk to them once, at least once a week, whatever. But most importantly, hearing their voice, they can hear my voice, of course. And like I said, man, this is very exciting. We got a great panel. I know we're interviewing Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, actually from my home state of Alabama. Big shout out to him as well. He's a book author. Awesome story, awesome testimony as well. We want him to share his story as well. That his story will inspire you and motivate you, to challenge you, that no matter where you come from, no matter what happened to you, that you can still live that life that God has for you. And that's what it's all about. I also want to give a big shout out to Miss King as well. She's with us tonight. So we're talking about something very, very touching. And this morning, Miss King reached out to me this morning about this topic, about the tragedy that happened in Milwaukee, with a 10-year-old took the life of his own mother. We're gonna talk about that tonight as well. So we want y'all to really join in on this topic of discussion. So we got Brandon that we're gonna be interviewing tonight as well. We're gonna do the state of emergency tonight as well. So I'm very excited. We got a jam-packed episode. So I'm very excited. Everybody's here and present. Miss King, I thank you for tuning in with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself as well to the audience that's watching us here on Walking This Way.
The fashion Google. I'm here in Dallas trying to do my thing. But this topic, it just disturbed me. I thought about it like I couldn't even sleep last night because I was thinking about it so much. So that's why I reached out to you about it. I think it's something that's really crucial that we need to talk about. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's just crazy. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that tonight as well. I know we're going to talk about that tonight. So I want everybody to hang out with us tonight, because it's a very, very deep discussion that we need to be talking about, addressing. I'm big on home life. I'm big on having a very healthy establishment, but more of that later on. Also, like I said, we got Brandon Johnson with us tonight as well. Like I said, he's a book author. He has a testimony as well. I want to share his testimony for those who know his story, and that his story, his testimony will inspire you. It's not about the why me or I would never make it, but this man is an example that you can still make it. you can still live a fulfilling life. You can still live, everybody say purpose, but live a life that you're about your business. That's what we hear on Impact is all about. So, Brandon, welcome to Walking This Way Impact was podcast. I know you have a lot of books. I know you have a book already out about you, about the Johnson Bulls, which is your last name, on how they was raised. We want to talk about that book, and I know you got other books as well. We want you to share your testimony also. So, welcome to Walking This Way Impact. Wasn't, by the way, Roll Tide also.
Roll Tide, brother. Good evening. Yes, I do have that book out, plus four other ones that are out on Amazon and Kindle. How the Johnson boys were raised before and after the wreck is the book you're talking about, and I'm doing a documentary on it this spring, thanks to George P. Brooks and Curtis Abrams, another local author from Tuscaloosa. And they make good Christmas presents for adults and kids. I got a few adult books. Um, that one, the Johnson Boys, and Piper Johnson's 4-year-old autobiography, which is my daughter. She wanted me to write a book for her, just like I wrote for me, and have it published. She wasn't old enough to write, so I wrote it for her. And then I got after that one, it come some more kids books called Wacky Bob, and how he went to school and was going to play sports. And then I got the three bears and the three unicorns. I wrote because I wrote one for the boys and then one for the girls, trying to make it equal. And then after those four come out, I wrote a novel for the preteens to adults. It's called Johnny's Life and How He Made It. Here's a picture of it right there.
Okay.
And my daughter's second book is called Belly Kate and Her Pet's Adventures. She wanted me to write a book about her pet, and she changed her name to Belly Kate so she wouldn't use her real name. And here's a picture of that one too. And after that, I had a dream about a rabbit. Where it come from, I have no idea. But after I after I dreamed about it, I woke up the next morning not having a clue what to do with it. So I wrote a book about it, and it's called Rocky the Giant Rabbit. And there's a picture of that one, and then I wrote some other books.
A lot of books.
Ma'am,
I said you got a lot of books. That's good.
I got five of them out, and I just sent five more off to be published. So in total, I have 12 being published, and that'll make uh 17 there, counting the five that's out. Plus, I'm writing two more,
Mm.
so I have 19 books total.
Oh, 19. Wow, that's a lot. And not that, and I know it was it was you was actually it was a car wreck that happened to you back, was it back in the 90s, correct?
93,
93.
March
And
1993.
March 1993. Take us back on that particular day that really just changed your life forever.
I was going to school playing baseball just like everybody else or the normal kids that played. And on this day, it was a picture remake day. And my mama was out and about, and she had the babysitters staying with us, and she just learned how to drive. So my two brothers were at home, so I stayed at home to take care of them. And March the 7th, the babysitter was taking us to my granny's so I could catch the school bus and put my shoes on or get my shoes. And she ran off the road repeatedly, trying to smoke a cigarette and put on makeup at the same time. She hit a tree and I flew out the front window, and I have traumatic head injury.
Man. And how at that, and when you went through that, how how did it affect everything? And like I said, you're writing books, and it's like that incident happened. It's like you're still going, and that's inspiration to all of us. That
Sir, I had to go through a lot of therapy and overcome a lot of obstacles, and I'm not the only disabled person out here in this world. So I'm trying to touch others with my books and give them the hope that I had coming up through all of this.
That's
yeah,
good.
that is, and plus I see people. We see people complain all the time. They complain about this, complain about that, and you
Yes,
got
sir.
people who's disabled. You got people. I
Mm-hmm.
see
Yeah.
that they ain't got no. We got you see a guy or woman who has one arm, but he's still going on with life. Or
Right.
you maybe
Well,
see somebody confined to a wheelchair, they're still moving on life. But you got people that's fully alert, fully using their limbs, and still complain.
exactly. Like you were saying, in my car wreck, when I hit the tree and stayed in the hospital for so long, I can use my left arm, but I don't use it much because it's not as strong as my right arm. But I do walk with a cane, and if I go to a Walmart or a big shopping center, I use a wheelchair then. But other than that, I'm walking around with a cane and trying to make do with what the way I am.
And like I say, God bless you too, and you still here.
Amen.
Telling your story, because that I mean, a lot of people don't even make it out, but by the grace of God,
That's
you
it.
made it out.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Tell your
Uh,
story.
I was wanting to give up from. I was 7 years old when the wreck happened, so when everything happened, I was wanting to give up for a lot of reasons, but my family kept pushing me, and now I graduated high school, and now I got a family of my own, and I got a little girl now, and I giving up ain't no option.
Amen.
So
Gotta take care of my family just like everybody else does.
say that one more time.
That's
You gotta
it.
take care of your family
Ain't
like
no family
everybody
just
else.
like everybody else.
I like that. And you know what? And what it is, Brandon, you are a very inspiration man to all of us here on the podcast.
Amen.
You
So,
still going on, even though that happened to you. Like you said, you taking care of your family.
right,
You writing books. That shows you that there is no excuses at all.
exactly.
At all. And I know you have the book out called How the Johnson Boy Was Raised.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the book? Is that like it's a biography about your family?
It's
How
pretty much about my family and me and my brothers and everything we've been through. Because, like I said, when I was in the wreck at 7 years old, my middle brother Justin was 5, and he was in the back seat with us, and he kicked out the back window and went and called 911. And then our baby brother, he wasn't but 6 months old at the time, so he was still at home in the baby crib.
and I know you have a biography that you're working on with George and Curtis. How did
Right.
that all come about to actually have your story to display on screen? I know that's very exciting.
I haven't done it yet, but Curtis was in town for Santa's Week premiere movie that he had come out down here at the Bama or the Cobb Theater, and I found him talking to Sanchez on Facebook, and I messaged Curtis telling him I was a local author too here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And me and him started talking, and he's helped me get on a radio talk show in Georgia. He's hooked me up with some other people in different states. Some called me back, some didn't. But Curtis went to George Brooks and talked to him, and George is coming this spring to make the documentary of the Johnson Boys book and gonna air it all over TV and stuff.
Okay, that's what's up right there. I know it's great, very great accomplishment for you and your family. to
Right,
have your story to be shared with people all across the world, and that's what it's
Right.
all about. And I know you mentioned your daughter and how she is, she has books that you're writing them for, and
right,
that's a blessing too to see how you influence your daughter, that
right.
she wants to follow in the steps of her father, and
Man.
that's what we love here too here on the podcast. How did they get started with her? What wanted to write? She just
I was
wanted.
I was through with how the Johnson boys were raised before and after the wreck, and I told her I was having it published all around the world, which I got messed up because the book company didn't publish itself. It's self-published, and after that, she said, "Daddy, said I want you to write a book for me so I can have it published like you."
Oh, that's sweet.
So I wrote her an autobiography, and she was 3 years old at the time, turning 4. And after I finished that one, she come up with another idea about her writing a book about her pet. So I wrote a book about that too.
Man, that's awesome,
That's
That's
man.
cute.
the second book coming out. And one of the books I'm working on will be her third book. It'll be part two of Piper Johnson's 7-year old autobiography.
And
I'm
we
excited.
just love that to hear people fulfilling their dream, fulfilling their
Mhm.
utilizing their gifts. The Bible said that our gift shall make room for us and bring
Yep,
forth great men. And
that's
we
it.
just love how individual that you said, everybody that's on here, gifted and talented, utilizing their gift, doing things that they love to do, enjoying life, living a meaningful life, and utilizing your gifts, and how you utilize your gifts, how God just opened up doors for you because of the gift He has given you. So your story is inspirational all by it. And I know the panel, they want to ask you some questions. So being a gentleman, of course, Miss, can you have any question you want to ask Brandon about the
Yeah,
book or anything?
yeah, I just think that's the inspiration. Sometimes when people have uh being an that give up so fast. Like he said, he didn't want to give up. He went through a lot, and then that's beautiful for him to write the book. And then his daughter seeing him fighting through it and wanting to do stuff and writing the book. Then she up and want to write a book. So I think that was just awesome. That's awesome. And basically, that's a testimony. He survived. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't survive, or people end up being in a wheelchair and a vegetable and cannot talk and get around. And so God was able to spare him and he's able to get around and write 17 books. That's a blessing.
19.
19. He got 19 total. Right.
19, that's a blessing.
And that's
That's a
truly,
blessing.
the coin. You have anything you want to chime in on?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to say just thank you for that, for your job you doing. As a person that I like kids books. I don't know, I just like reading them, and I love the inspiration they get from them. And I say this from a child, they don't do that no more. Nobody
No, sir, they don't.
inspires
There ain't
children.
some out there that still let their, or read to their kids as they little, or sit down and make them read. All they
That's
want to do
it.
is
Mhm.
play on the phone.
That's true. And I definitely think to have a child, see themselves in a book, becoming a hero is a way to constantly inspire them. So when life, kicks their behind like it does everybody else, they have a book they can come home to and read and look up and say, you know what? I'm still a hero. So thank you for your job, man. I mean, it's awesome.
It really is. And because what you're doing, Brandon, is great work. And we thank everybody who tuning in with us tonight here on Facebook Live, and we live streaming, of course. And like I said, we just love to hear inspirational stories. Like I said, the thing about it, how your daughter, wants to follow in her father's footsteps as
Exactly.
being a book author. You don't hear stuff like this every day, and this is like amazing, really is, that she wants to do this and
Mhm.
fulfill it. And then the thing
Yeah.
about it is that you encourage her, and parents should inspire their children. Should they have goals and dreams and aspirations that they want to be able to do these things, and not to say you can't do that, you don't know this and that. But when as a parent, I'm not a parent, but as parents get a green light to the children, It's like they go
Mm-hmm.
and excel and
Right.
do great things because the parents supporting them 1,000%. So that's
Well,
truly awesome.
right. She wants to write as many books as Daddy, but she wants Daddy to write them for her. But she's 7 years old now, and
Yeah,
you know,
and every,
I give her a few more years, and then she's gonna have to start writing her own books.
Right. Well, you know what? At
yeah.
least you be already prepared because Dave, at least you be already prepared because she won't
If
have
she
to
be
get
ready, look, she'll be
she.
ready then. She'll
Yes,
be ready.
she be ready. Exactly. And then that's like her. That would be like her job. Because when she in school, that'd be her
Mm-hmm.
finances too as well. So she
Right.
don't have to go out there and get a job. She already be real financially
Mm-hmm.
ready.
By her books.
Exactly. By her book. And awesome. So, Brandon, you have anything you want to plug in right quick? I know about to to do our state of emergency episode. We're gonna be talking about a 10-year-old that killed his mother. Was I
Hmm.
read it today? Man, if I got it pulled up on my other computer, we're gonna get into it
I
and
have
elaborate on it.
got a few more. I'll say a few more, and then I'll let you do what you gotta do.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, I got 5 books out on Amazon and Kindle. They're not in the bookstores, but you can order them anytime offline. And
Okay.
they make good Christmas presents or birthday gifts or whatever. And I got more coming out. Just everybody that watching this, following me and whatever else, please share with your friends and family so I can get out there to the public.
Okay. Where can I support you and buy one of your books? You said Amazon.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm
Okay.
all over Facebook.
Facebook. And what's your name on Facebook? Give us the information so we can go support you.
Brandon Johnson
Okay, Brandon.
from Cottondale, Alabama.
Yep. And like I said, we'll most likely be sharing that. And also, I myself gonna purchase a book too as well. Brandon, really support you. 'Cause I support anybody that's doing great things, and that's what it's all
Appreciate it.
about. So most definitely doing that. So, hey, those that's listening, man, y'all get out there, follow Brandon, support him and what he's doing. Um, Uplift him, encourage him. Not only that, just his daughter as well too. So y'all really get behind these people that are doing great things here in the world. Even though we live in a crazy world right now, we still
Yes, sir.
have people who are being a light right now in a positive note. And like I said, we're gonna be talking about state of emergency tonight. I got the article pulled up. I looked at it this morning. It's kind of it's how this it's weird. It's not weird, but it's just sad at the times that we're in.
Really sad. It's sad because it's just sad. It just bothered me a lot. Lord,
Yeah, and I
it
said
just
we're gonna be
bothered me so much.
yeah. Matter of fact, I'm let Miss King. I know you brought it to me this morning. So I want you to, you know what I'm saying, set it up for us and what led you to want to talk about this tonight here on tonight's show.
Well, it bothered me because I am a mother of 7 children. I had a total of 9 children, but I lost two when I lost a little girl. And, growing up, we had to work hard for things that we wanted. We just didn't give, our parents didn't just give us stuff all the time. We had to work for it. And now in society, kids just getting whatever they want, whatever they want. They just giving it to them, giving it to them, giving it to them. But the kids not knowing that sometimes the parents are in financial binds, they can't buy certain things, and the kids not knowing. So you constantly giving your kids stuff, giving them, giving them, giving them, and they not really knowing that you have the money to pay for it. Like, I can't give it to you. Why you can't give it to me? Why? And they getting mad. And then this 10-year-old get woke up. He mad because his mama wake him up. And then she didn't buy something, the earplugs for him on Amazon. And then he go and get a gun and kill his mom. Like, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, I was up all last night, like thinking like, what possessed him, a 10-year-old, to get a gun and kill his mother over something like that. So me, I'm just really wanting to dig into the story and see, like, is it something else going on in the home? But they probably not gonna reveal a lot of things once the trial go on. But it had to be something else. I just couldn't see a 10-year-old getting up, getting mad by that and just kill his mom.
Right.
So,
And
we don't know the whole story, but the reason why I came to you about it was that We need to reach our parents out there and say, you gotta start making your children earn what they get. Their grades need to be a part. They all these kids. I walk around and see an 11-year-old with an iPhone, a 10-year-old with an iPhone, and I'm like, and I worked in the school system as a teacher as well when I was younger, and I see a lot of these kids getting all these things, and their grades are bad. They are cussing their parents out, and they constantly keep giving them things just to keep them quiet. And then when they don't get the things they want, they tear up stuff. I mean, this is not even the only child. Another child tore his mother house up. I mean, tore it up. It's all on Facebook. He just demolished the house. And then we had another girl, I think she was 9. She took her mother's rent and went and passed it out at the school because she was mad at her mother. So she couldn't even get the rent money back because she passed it out to all her classmates. So I wanted to do this to, like, we really got to reach our mother or fathers out there and say, stop just giving your kids, like, let them earn it. Let them do stuff to earn their money. That trains your kid. My kid, I had 7 children. My kids had to earn anything that they wanted. I had to feed them and shelter them and take care of them. But if they wanted certain things that is like expensive, or they had to earn it. They had to do their chores, they had to do grades in school. It wasn't, I want to do what I want to do, room dirty. You had to earn it. But now, the way parents are now, you can see it on social media. They just, the Jordans and all these Gucci pants. They just want all this different stuff and they not earning it. So now it should make everybody think, okay, why would a 10-year-old kill his mom because she wouldn't get something? And so that's what I want. Reason why I wanted to come on here. And I was like, maybe you can bring some other people on the panel and we can just discuss it, because there's some parents out there really probably thinking about it. Like, dog, I do just give my son everything. What if he get mad at me and shoot me because he's mad? You know what I'm saying? Then why would you have a gun where a 10-year-old can get to it? So now there we talk about guns, in the home. So it's a lot of story. It's just a lot. I just wanted to come on here and just let's talk about it. Maybe this will go viral. Maybe people can really just like start thinking, like, parents, this is something we need to think about. Really, really and truly think about. And then we just had a 7-year-old child just got killed and raped by somebody, playing her back in her yard, So it's just a lot that's touching me as a parent. It just affected me in a way, like, that could have been my granddaughter outside playing. That could have been your child outside playing, or, so we have to be accountable. I just feel like parents need to be accountable for the things that they do, because you got to understand, when your child grow up, he might not be able to get all the things that you're giving him now. So now, is you teaching him that he got to go out there and get a job and earn what he get, or he think he got somebody just supposed to give it to him? See, that's the problem that I'm looking at in society, where we teaching our kids, okay, you can get this, but you have to earn it, because it's not going to be given to you. But we're not teaching them that. We just giving them to be quiet. Go sit down. I'm gonna give it to you. You sit down. Oh, and kids begin to start crying. I'm just gonna give you this ice cream because you're crying. No, take her out the store and go in the car, and she don't get nothing. But we as parents now, we got parents that's 20 years old, don't know anything about being a parent. They just give their kids because they want the kids to have the latest stuff. They want their kids to look I had a little boy, he had some Gucci shoes on, and she paid $400 for some shoes. And I said, okay, now when he get 20 and 30, he can't buy them kind of shoes. Did you explain to him that he got to go work, get a job to get these shoes? So we have to, as parents, we just got to start teaching our kids better. We really do, because
I agree with you. And I agree with you 1,000% on what you're saying. And I got the article pulled up. It says this happened in Milwaukee. It says 10-year-old boy kills mother because she went by virtual reality headset. Police said this happened in Milwaukee. It said 10-year-old boy in Milwaukee is accused of shooting and killing his mom because she went by him a virtual reality headset. The deadly shooting happened last Monday at the boy's home. Stephen Priscus has lived in a home in 87 block of Hamlock for more than 2 decades. He described the family as average. They just asked me how I'm doing and stuff like that. That was the neighbor said. According to a criminal complaint, the boy really told police he accidentally shot his mom when he was twirling the gun. Okay, let's talk about that part right quick. Is
Mm-hmm.
that according to a criminal complaint, the boy originally told police he accidentally shot his mom while he was twirling the gun. Why was he twirling the gun?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, for one thing, why would you have a gun out just like that where a 10-year-old can get it? Okay. So that's, I mean, I'm not gonna know, we don't know the situation because I always rather learn the situation. But see, is it a black family or is it a white family?
It really didn't say at all.
Because I think somebody when I was reading it on social media, I couldn't figure out if it was a African American family or Caucasian family. I didn't know. Because somebody had made a comment on Facebook where it's probably some black boy done shot his mama, or first then another lady said, no, it's probably a white boy. It don't matter if it was black or white. It's still we have to come together as it is family and friends that's teaching our kids that you can't just get everything. And we're not doing it. I watch it all on. We got all these reality shows. These kids from just buying this, buying, and other kids want the things they see on these reality shows. When they see all these kids in the Jordans and all this different stuff, they want these things. I remember when I was in school, I used to see boys get jumped and they take their shoes, get on the bus, and they'd jump on the board and take their shoes because they wanted the shoes that he had on because maybe their family or their parents couldn't afford it. Now we got people killing each other for it. I'm devastated. I just don't know what the situation was with the boy, why he even had a gun. Why is he 10 years old twirling a gun?
That's what it said. That was the boy said in the complaint. Then it said, but the next day the family called police with serious concerns. He said they said the boy told his aunt he was actually aiming the gun at his mother. That's what he told his aunt. But he told in the complaint, he told the police he accidentally shot his mom while he was throwing a gun. But then the aunt, he supposedly told the aunt he actually aimed the gun at his mother. Y'all want to elaborate on that?
Like
I'm
like
just,
the sister
I'm
was
just
definitely saying
devastated.
earlier, I feel like not disciplining them, they don't have no reason to fear you. Oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm sure if I complain enough, mom and dad will just go ahead and get it for me. And when you first told me about this matter, I actually went to the scriptures because I'm like, okay, we need something real about this. And it brought me to Proverbs 30 and 11. And it says, there is a generation that curseth their father and doth not bless their mother. And it's like for this generation, if you don't have what I need or to keep me entertained, you're no good. And it's like, do you know I'm your mother or father? But because they don't fear us, there's no discipline. And if you try to discipline them, people calling the workers on you. So it's so much against us. But I do know we are supposed to be disciplining them, you know.
I agree with you 100%. We don't have we a lot of times there's no discipline in the home. These kids do what they want to do. They cuss their mama, they cuss their daddy, and nothing. They're nothing. They don't do nothing. They go in the room, get it. I'm not gonna give you nothing. That's all they get. I'm get towed up. Let me say something crazy to my mom. My grandma used to go get your switch. I have to go out there and get my belt and bring it to her and get lit up. And I would never disrespect my mother. Never.
Right,
But these kids today, they talk so crazy to their parents because you don't discipline them. You just give them whatever they want to
right,
shut them up, to get them out your face. And then they don't. When I got older, I didn't know my mom was struggling. I didn't know that she was financially doing things for me to eat, for me to survive. And they don't. A lot of these kids don't know their parents are struggling right now, so they can't get you to Jordan. They can't do this. But you're not gonna tell them that because you don't want them to know. You got yourself up here. I'm the hype. I'm up here. I'm the boss, as they say out here. And these kids don't care. Oh, why can't you? They get mad. You can't give me my what? What? I was just see it. And the celebrity kids really make it bad for the kids that really can't afford the things. You see these young celebrities having these big old fabulous parties and getting diamonds and getting all this. And now these kids thinking they supposed to get the same thing.
But they don't
And they
realize
mama
that.
balling out of control. So it's just there's no discipline.
Well, you don't realize them. Like you mentioned, the celebrity kids, they don't really pay for that stuff because
But
stores
see,
and
but you gotta
sponsors
understand
give them
too,
that
like
stuff.
when kids like my if my kids are here and they seeing that on a reality show and they seeing all this stuff, they don't know that.
Yeah,
They want to see what they want to wear what the next kids are wearing.
right.
And your mother can't afford to buy these Jordans and all this other stuff. They can't afford it. So now they're getting mad. And then you got the parents that is wearing all this fabulous stuff, but they ain't giving their kids nothing.
But a lot of them, I ain't gonna be honest with you, some people don't need to be parents, period. They really don't. But I say some don't need to be parents because of their mindset. And they let this stuff go. If you look on social media, you have little children cussing people out, flipping people off. They have the little baby girls twerking, whatever. And they think it's cute. They sit there and laugh at it, record it. But then when they start getting older, it ain't cute no more.
That's it.
Now it's a problem
It
now.
still
They
shot.
created that monster. They created that Frankenstein. Now they want somebody to do something about it. And it's
It just like you said, it's a state of emergency. It is so bad out there. And two, I want to send a shout out to the little girl that got the 7-year old. I should have wrote her name down. Um, just recently passed away because the FedEx guy delivered a package, snatched her up, raped her, and killed her. And the mother was living in Oklahoma City, and she was staying with the stepmother, and her and the stepmother had an argument, and so the little girl just went outside, and I don't think she knew she went outside. So when the FedEx guy seen her in the yard, he delivered a package, grabbed her, took her on the FedEx truck, raped her, and killed her, and dumped her probably maybe a mile away from her home. So I just really want to send a shout out to her mom and tell her I'm so sorry that this happened, and this is going she'll never see her child again. She sent her child out there to visit her father, and now she don't her child's not coming back. And he admit that he did it. He admit that he did it and told him exactly where her body was. And that's another thing. We gotta keep an eye on our children. We gotta keep an eye on our children. We let our children go over people's house anywhere. Mom, can I go spend out with my friend? Nope. My mama said, nope, I don't know them. Nope. Now we just let our kid go on over there. Don't care because they want to get them out the house. So it's just sad. It's just so sad. Just sad.
and it really is. And just going to it says the boy said he got the gun because he was mad at his mom for waking him up at 6 in the morning and that she would not allow him to order a virtual reality headset from Amazon, according to detectives. He was mad because she woke him up at 6 in the morning. Apparently, she woke him up
Yeah,
at 6 in the morning for a reason. Could be school. It
yeah,
could that you look you missed you didn't go in there and clean the kitchen up because I know back in the day my mom would do me like that. Wake us up early in the morning. We didn't get the
yeah.
kitchen and stuff
Let's
cleaned
go.
up.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. That's how my
So
mama was. She pull that cover off. You don't get back up. You don't get up. She hear that switch on. You get up. Let's go.
right, but to get up and
Hmm.
get up and go by yourself. But he was that's why he was mad for her. And then okay, she told him no for a reason. So apparently either he was not doing good in school or he may not did his chores around the house. And when he asked
Or
for it,
she
she said,
just, or she plain just didn't have the money. And now he's 10 years old, and they're gonna charge him as an adult. So he might. We don't know what he might get. You know, we don't know. We don't even know what he's gonna get. So if they give him 20 years, he'd be what a certain. He'd be a grown man by the time he get out of prison.
yeah.
And he doesn't. That his whole life is gone, and he have to live with that. I
And
don't
it
know.
was,
I just don't understand.
and it said police said the boy told them he got the gun by taking his mom's keys to the gun safe, adding that he took up a shooting stand that he wanted to shoot the wall to scare her, but she walked in front of him. In front of him.
That's why I don't have nothing against gun owners at all, but I would say, man, don't even they shouldn't know. There's no way they should know where, how to get the key. You shouldn't even I just said he should know, man, because
He shouldn't even know the gun was in the house. He shouldn't even
right.
know where the key was. And I feel bad for him because simple fact that maybe, listen, he is a 10-year old. He's 10. And maybe he was just trying to scare his mom, but and it's something gonna be a trauma. He gonna be messed up for life because he killed his mom, and he probably didn't intend to do it. He probably did was gonna just scare her or whatever the case may be. But she what like he said on the paper, she just walked into the gun and it went off or whatever.
Well, he
So
should never got
that's
to that
another
point
thing that's gonna
anyway.
traumatize him forever.
Well, first of all, he had no business getting like that for anyway, but it gets interesting. It said
Yeah,
family told the police that the boy had raised issues all his life.
at 10.
Hmm.
Woo.
And at 4 years old, he picked up a puppy by its tail and swung it around till it whined in pain. Okay, this is it. Okay, they
Okay.
knew this young
Okay.
boy had raised issues all his life. This falls on the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, if he had problems, or they should have got him some kind of help. And maybe he would have got so angry at her because she wouldn't give him something and then when he got the gun. So, what I'm saying? They should have got the baby some counseling, put him in some counseling, something. That's almost just like Jeffrey Dahmer. He was killing pets and doing all kind of crazy stuff when he was a young kid. And I tell people, when you see your kids doing stuff like that, get them. But African American don't believe in getting counseling. My grandma said, "Oh no, we don't do counseling. God is our counselor." That's my grandma used to always say to me. But I told her to say, sometimes we need to get counseling. Sometimes people need to talk to somebody. Why are you up so set at that age? So that had to be when he was 5, 4.
but this he did. They said 4 years old, he picked up a puppy by his tail, swirled it around till it whined in pain. He said the criminal complaint stated that 6 months ago, the 10-year-old filled a balloon with flammable liquid and set it on fire, which caused a stanchion and carpet in their home to catch on fire.
That's crazy. And I gotta say, a lot of this stuff is unfortunately enabled by parents. A lot of parents give their kids this kind of
They do. They
freedom.
do.
Like nothing kills me more than a child doing wrong and a parent like, don't touch my child, don't say nothing. Come on, like you cannot check the children and wonder why, he's having problems. And I feel like for him to be doing all of these things, who was watching him? How critical
That's
was
it.
it to pay attention to him, knowing these problems. And like you say, Furman, like it falls on the parents.
Yeah,
Y'all didn't
I
see
agree.
none of this, didn't report nothing, you know.
I agree 100% because it's so many kids. Just man. But a lot of times it either like they tell our men, you don't supposed to cry. That's why you can't hardly see men cry. Then they tell the kids, we don't supposed to do counseling. We don't Black people don't go to counseling. Because I mean my family used to say that. I used to tell them I want to go to counseling. When my dad died and stuff like that, and I seen my dad get killed, I wanted them to help me get counseling. Oh, we don't do counseling. We don't do counseling. So I just went to the school and just told them I need counseling. I feel like I'm gonna kill myself. I just told whatever I need to tell them so they can put me in counseling so I can get help. But my family wasn't gonna do it. And that's how we was raised up, not to do, don't talk about it. I've never really seen none of my brothers cry until my mom passed away. That's the only time I ever seen my brother cry. Ever. And now he just like, you made me realize, as a man, I can cry. I said, you can cry in front of your wife? Cry. Y'all need to get on y'all knees and pray together, cry together. Don't be, she said, well, mama always said, don't cry. Man, don't cry. But you can cry, you can get counseling. These kids need help. I'm telling you, there's a lot of kids out there right now that suffer. And we need to stand up and try to send some kind of message out there. Maybe somebody will see this podcast and just realize, like, yeah, my son is doing this kind of stuff. Let me get him some help.
Yeah,
So
have the
this is a
conversation.
message. This is a message for all the parents that got kids out there that's 10, 11, even younger, and they see them doing things like this. Get them help. Get them help if they need it. If you on this if you see this podcast and you got a child like that, I am a nurse. You can reach out to me. You can call me on DM me or whatever. I will get you the help that you need for your child. But don't just sit there and let your child be killing animals and doing crazy stuff, burning up the room, burning up they doing crazy stuff like that without getting them help because it's gonna turn bad. It's gonna
Yeah.
turn bad.
And it said a sibling also told police the 10-year-old was meeting with a therapist who gave him a concerned diagnosis that led his mother to place cameras inside their home. The cameras were unplugged 2 weeks ago. A family member told police that they felt bad for not stepping in earlier
Just said that.
because they knew
Now, if
eventually
they would have
something.
got this child some help, I promise you, he wouldn't have got that angry and pulled a gun and even aimed it at his mother. He probably would have got upset like a normal kid get upset, and like, okay, cry or whatever. But he has so much, probably so much rage in him. He just went and got that gun. He got the key. When they got that key, he opened that gun thing. He probably pulled it out. Give me this one. And she walked into the gun, and there she go. Now he look at her, his mom fall to the floor. Right. He just devastated. He just messed up completely now.
Yeah, like I said, the police said one day after shooting his mom, the boy purchased a headset from her Amazon account.
Huh?
After yeah, after shooting his mom, the boy purchased the headset from her Amazon account.
Wow.
So
That's
as she told him no, he took her life and he went and ordered it anyway.
yeah, and I think I don't know if the child knows the reality of what he did. To the extent like, and I think not talking to these children, that's the problem. I remember I was saying earlier there was another story, back in the days where this child he killed both his grandparents because they told him to not play the Halo game, and he woke up
Mm-hmm.
and killed both the
Yeah.
grandparents.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they understand it's a reality that their parents not coming back, or it's bad if they actually know they're not. If they actually know I'm about to go contemplate murder, that's a problem. Your child should not be, so young contemplating murder, knowing how to be wise and actually setting somebody up. That's a problem.
It is a big problem. And there's a lot of kids out there that, and I hate to say this, and that's like Jeffrey Dahmer. There's a lot of kids like that. And parents think it's okay. They won't get them help. Maybe because we doing this podcast and maybe somebody else will see it and then we can get it something going. At least try to get something going because maybe somebody will see this podcast and say, you know what, my son be doing that. Let me get him some help. Maybe somebody will see because you
But
got to start getting your kids some help. Can't be sitting around here just like he be okay, he be all right. He
but they
young, and that's sometimes they look at it, they think because they're young they'll grow out of it. But look at Jeffrey Dahmer; it went from a kid to a teenager to adult because he never. And what's so crazy about his parents taught him some of that stuff. His dad taught him some of that stuff. So now he just gone. He was gone. He was gone.
and
Now look at
this
him.
and this is what the boy said. The boy's grandmother said he told her, "I'm sorry for killing my mom." Then asked if the Amazon package had arrived, according to the criminal complaint.
Yeah, and that's what made me earlier go to those precepts because God really was telling us of certain things that have happened with these generations. Um, like for instance, Proverbs 30 and 13 says there's a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up.
Yeah.
Everything is accessible, so they want everything. And by us giving them everything, you can't expect them to change that overnight. Now
It,
you have to introduce discipline when a child is so late to you not disciplining them.
I totally agree, 1,000% on what you're saying. Like I said, this falls on the parent. No, stop being a friend. Stop being a buddy. Be
Oh
a
Lord,
parent. And that,
you said it. You said it. Oh my God, you said it. That is the point. That's the number one point. These parents are trying not. They don't want to be parents. They want to be their friend.
yeah.
I got 7 children right now. I'm not. They know I'm not your friend. Don't play with me. They know, and I'll be trying. I see my friends with their kids. They just let their kids tear up the house. I said, you not gonna do. Just sit there. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna whoop you and your child. And see, all the people in the neighborhood used to get on us. You can't say nothing to nobody else's kid. Don't be talking to my kid. Don't touch my kid. Baby, on my neighborhood, any of the neighbors can come and spank my butt if they see me doing something out there I ain't had no business doing. But if you do it now, you might get killed. Somebody might come to your door and ready to fight you if you discipline their kids. See, the community could discipline our on my neighbor in my neighborhood. But now we try to do that. The parents want to fight us.
Yep, and that's what they get their behavior from. Because it says the boy has been charged with first degree homicide. Since the boy had been charged as an adult, he faced up to 60 years in prison if
Woo, my
found guilty.
God.
You'll have no life.
He has no life. He won't have no kids. He won't get married. He won't finish high school, junior high school, elementary. He won't do none of that. He won't. He won't. He just like he said. He won't have no life. He'd be a grown, right old man by the time you get out of there.
It says his
That's a
bond was scared. His bond was set at 50,000. He is scheduled to return to court on December the 7th, which is today.
wow. And they charging him as an adult.
Yeah, and he could face up to 60 years in prison if
Oh,
found guilty.
my God.
But if you look at the article, what did the family say? If they could have prevented it earlier, they responsible for all this.
Yeah.
Now that's blood on their hand.
Yeah.
Or we would have did something earlier. Okay, it takes some tragedy to happen to say, oh, I wish we
But
did this
but see,
earlier.
it's gonna be a close. It's not gonna be the jury ain't gonna be out long. Is you know because what's so crazy about it, he went and ordered the package. He waited for the package. So it's almost like they was like he know what he doing. He know
Yeah, he knew he was
he
doing. Yeah,
can, but he knew what he did.
yeah, he knew he
Some
did.
kids be like, I didn't realize I did that. Some don't mentally catch it. But he got it. He got it. He got it. Because you went and still ordered what you wanted off the thing. But she ain't here. I can go order it now.
Yeah, and then he asked his grandmother, did they come here? So he knew he was doing. That's why he knew he was doing.
That's why it's such a need for the whole family to be there, mother, father, kids, because a dad, man, he probably wouldn't have even thought of doing
He wouldn't be throwing no
yeah.
time because daddy would light him up.
He just had a
Mhm.
male. He didn't have no real dad. He
For
didn't have no
real.
real man in his life. He had a real man in his life that was a real father. He'd been broke that little son church a long time ago. But once
Exactly.
again, stop. That's one thing with these guys. Stop going around pregnant these girls. And these girls, stop laying over these guys who ain't no good. That's the problem right there too. They lay up big individuals, they get pregnant, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to be a parent. They're not mature enough for that. They're immature. And then you want to
It's
put your
crazy.
child on your mama, the grandmother. And that's what they do. They ain't know what. Then the mothers, they take their responsibility. Okay, she laid up and got pregnant by the Joker. She need to be responsible. Don't just, well, I'm gonna go to the club the weekend and hang out with friends, and then you hand the baby off to your mother, which is the grandmother. And now
Yeah.
the
Now we
grandmother is raising,
babysitter.
but they don't say
We
nothing to them. Well,
babysitter.
that's my baby. That's my baby. Y'all still want it, but you want a baby then when she laid them got pregnant. Some people need to get pregnant. Some people need to be parents. Period. They don't. It's because the children
And that's the
suffer.
reason why we don't have a lot of people teaching their kids that because you got to understand some of these kids are kids. It's kids
Yeah,
having
they are.
kids,
They are. You're right. I
and
agree
they
with you
don't
one
have
time.
nobody to step in and help them teach them. You can't teach a man a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. You got to have a man in the house. And I thank God, my kids grew up with my husband in the house because I couldn't have did that by myself. But when I divorced, I had to step up there and try to be the mother and the father. But I'm like, you're gonna come over here and get your son because I can't teach them how to be a man. You got to do that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying? But you
I agree.
still got to be tough on them. You still got to. I was tough on my boys.
Well, yeah, you got to, and that's what's going on. And I talked, you talk to so many women that's in relate. I'm gonna say these women. Well, I'm gonna say women because real women ain't gonna put away. Sorry, joking. These females, they get with these guys, and they say they see the red flags, but they ignore the signs. Have you ever talked to some of these girls? They would say Yeah, I have my own place. He went from his parents to my place.
To her
Okay,
house.
so he never had his own place. He don't work. He ain't trying to work. But you sit there and lay with him, get pregnant. He's not helping you. You're mad.
And then you got to sit there and raise the boy on your own or the daughter on your own. And I tell women, I tell a lot of my friends, I'm like, okay, I understand that you and the father didn't, make it, but don't keep the child father away from him because the things that he needs to learn from his father. You cannot teach him. So sometimes these women get bitter and they get mad and they keep the child away from the father. But you need to keep, if you got a father that want to be in his child life, let them be in there because you cannot teach that boy what he needs. That father needs to be there. If he's not going to be there physically, let him come and have custody. Let him come pick the son up. But no, y'all women get mad. Well, you can't see him because you want to be with him. Okay, it didn't work out, but still let him be a father. And that's the problem too. A lot of times the kids don't have no father in the home because the women don't want to let the father be there.
But I'm also saying for the guy from the guy perspective. They knew that girl was crazy when they got with her. Stop falling for the big butt and the smile. That's the wrong with some of these guys now. They go off the physical attribute of a woman. She's fine. Oh, look at that body. Oh, look at that hair. Look at them nails. Oh, she looking good. But you don't know anything about her character. You're not trying to get to know her. You lay up with her, you get her pregnant. Now all of a sudden she went from you a queen, you sexy to a BITCH now.
And I say, especially if you're the type of guy that, you may be doing you out there in the streets, but if you love your children, you're going to want to always have your children at your leisure. Like you said, you have to learn retention because when you can't get that child, now guess what? Everybody's in court, everybody's losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
And it,
child is losing. It's people think, oh, they divorce and all that, but who losing in that whole picture? It's going to be the child. That's why I have a friend. He's a doctor, and he did this book, and he said you can tell a person when you're not compatible with a person. When you see these red flags, stop. You know this person ain't good, but some women just want a man. They just
this
want a
guys
man
too.
in the house. They just want a man.
This
But you
guys
know this
too.
person ain't right. And then y'all get together, you got the baby, now he bouncing. And then you got to take care of this boy. I keep trying to tell these women that you cannot give this boy what the man can give him, you can't give it to him. Now I've seen some. Now I was in my kid's father was in the home, but I have a lot of friends that the father is not in the home, and all I tell them is that look, let the father be a father, because if some men come leave and don't come back ever. So if you got a man that's going to be a father to his kid, let him be a father to his kid. Don't take that away from him. Let him be a father to his son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't like the lady for instance, the guy came to bring his son some McDonald's and she got mad. I was like, that was crazy. It was all on social media. I said he's still trying to be a father to his son. He brought his son some McDonald's. Nope, we gotta bring all the kids some. Them other ones ain't his kids, but he being there for his kids. But you don't want him to see him.
That's
It's
why
crazy to me. I don't
That's
get it.
why I tell these guys stop laying
I
over the
don't get
crazy
it.
behind girls. These girls, some of these girls got mental issues, not all of them. Some of these girls got mental issues. Some of these guys jacked up too. Stop laying away. And then also for the guys, if you do have a child out there and the girl is not, y'all not seeing eye to eye, man, take care of your responsibility. 'Cause at the end of the day, that's your seed. That's supposed to be your legacy. So
Yeah.
get in there, be responsible. You don't realize when you bring a child into the world, everything changed. You have to make a lot of adjustments now. You can't go out like you used to. You can't go clubbing and all those like you used to. The child comes for you. Got to take care of that child. You got to nurse that child. You got to take the child to the doctor's appointment. You have to be with that child through school. Find out what's going on. That's kind of stuff they don't look at. They think they're not going. You got to be prepared for that. And if you do got baby out there, man, be about your business. Go be responsible. Stop being irresponsible. That's the problem. There's too many irresponsible people in this world. It's like it's for me, myself, and I. It's like damn with you and damn what you got going on. And it's
Yeah.
sad. We get tired of seeing broken homes, broken families. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Downtown is making millions of dollars off y'all folks down there. I'm telling you. They love you taking on these kind of cases because they know y'all ain't gonna do right. They know y'all jacked up. So they just taking y'all money left and right. So downtown, whatever y'all live at, they love y'all because they know y'all ain't doing right anyway. Y'all don't want to do right. But
Yeah.
big shout out to those who are raising their family. Big shout out to those who are being fathers. Big shout out to those who are being mothers and about their business.
Taking care of their kids.
And if
Because
I
that's a big responsibility, man. If you're out there and to the single dads out there that has children, man, y'all take care of y'all kids. Man up, let your
Yeah.
ball drop, and take care of your kids. Don't worry about her. Well, she won't
Yeah.
let me. Okay,
And the
you
thing,
got court.
the thing about it, the main reason that I wanted to do the podcast and talk about it is just that because I just want us as parents just to stand up and just help our children. We have a lot of kids out there have mental illness. Um, my daughter has a mental illness and she was missing for a whole month. We didn't know where she was. We couldn't find her. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. And we just say, look, China, you have to come down here so we can help. Now, you a grown woman, you know what I'm saying? But still, that's my daughter, and we could not find her. Like, I couldn't sleep. My son was crying. We didn't know, where she was. She said she slept in the park. She just had an episode. She couldn't find her phone. She slept on the bench. And the lady just said, go take yourself to the hospital. And that's how she was able to find refuge where she can go somewhere and stay. And then the police was like, we have to find her until we cannot take her as a missing person until we find her. And once they found her, they closed the case. And we just flew her here. So I tell people mental illness is real. If you don't give your kids the help they need at a young age, it's gonna fall into some other things. And if you see this stuff happening, don't hesitate to take them to the doctor and get them some help. Now, this is a prime example of the reason why I want to do it, just to send this message out for us as parents to start getting our children some help that they need. Because if this 10-year-old would have got the help that he needed when he was 4 years old, his mother would still be living. So I still want to send my condolences out to them because the simple fact is, this is a mother that just lost her life because of the family would not step up to the plate and get this child some help. So if you have a child that's out there doing things like this, please try to get them some help because
Yeah,
it's going to
facts.
end up bad.
Yeah, facts. Open your mouth, communicate. That's what it is. We're not communicating. We just holding this stuff in. But you have to start opening your mouth. The old saying is that always a closed mouth don't get fed. You have to open your mouth and really get out there and be open. That's the pride. Drop it. Drop the pride. Drop the ego. If you fall and drop the ball somewhere, hey, pick it up, humble yourself, and get the help. You know what I'm saying? And humble yourself. That's the deal. Humble yourself. Drop the narcissist with the narcissist attitude or something they say, and admit that you're wrong. That's what men don't make excuses. I'm just speaking from a man's perspective. Men don't make excuses. A man will hold himself accountable for the choice that he made. So hey, start making the right decision. We're about to ready to go into a new year. 2023 just right around the
Oh,
corner.
wow. This year
So
went by so fast.
it really did. So
It went by so fast.
it did, and it's a lot of tragedy happening. We have a lot of children are being kidnapped, being abducted, being raped. It's our children are suffering right now. They
Yep.
really are
Yep.
suffering. We got a
That's
lot of
all. This is all I heard for the last 3 weeks is kids killing somebody. We had a 10-year-old that killed his mother. We had a 12-year-old driving a car and killed an 85-year-old woman. Then we had a 7-year-old get killed. So we having a lot of issues of our kids killing and our kids getting killed. So we have to step up as mothers, and our fathers got to step up too, because if the father was in the home, I don't know the situation, but if the father was in the home, that would have been help. That would have been some help. So we have to choose who we lay down and have kids with, and we have to get our kids some help and watch over our kids. Stop letting our kids just run ragged. We need to step up and watch over our kids.
yeah, find out what's going on with them. Talk to them too. It's like a lot of conversation we were growing up didn't get talked about. But talk about all this stuff that's going on outside the home. Children are being exposed to a lot of stuff with social media. They're being exposed to all kind of curiosity. This stuff is open. So sit down, have these type of conversation with your children because it's always the elephant in the room, and we want to keep a blind eye, but they are being exposed. When they leave your presence, they're being exposed to different types of stuff, especially the schools, their friends. You don't know what these parents be doing. I don't believe in that all that spending night. If I have children, they're not spending night over nobody's house at all because there's some weird people out there. They've been
Hmm.
pedophiles and you don't know what these folks be doing inside their house. You really don't. It's sad. That is not. That's
We couldn't.
family
We
members
couldn't.
too.
When I was growing up, we couldn't spend a night over people's house. We just couldn't. You know, we just didn't. Our parents didn't allow us to do that because they didn't know the people. Just like, for instance, I'm giving an example. When they hired that guy from FedEx, they didn't know this guy from FedEx was a predator. They probably didn't even know he was that. And then you go drop off a packet, and then take a 7-year-old child, and rape her and kill her. Now I know FedEx looking like, oh my God, you done killed a child. And it was so crazy about why would you leave the package? Because that was the evidence they needed. Because when they seen the package, they was like, okay, around the time she was outside, the guy from FedEx was delivering a package. So they put two and two together, went to him and said, hey, he admitted he killed the girl and raped the 7-year-old. What you doing with a 7-year-old?
Pedophile.
Yeah,
So
God, that's sad, man. That made me cry. I was crying so bad I couldn't even control myself. I was crying so bad because I have 4 granddaughters, and I just imagine if that was one of my grandkids. I'm tearing up now. Like, what? Why? I don't see. I don't understand. I swear I don't understand. And the mom was in Oklahoma City. She was at the stepmother's house. The father wasn't even there. He left. So why would you, if your daughter was coming to visit you, why would you leave and go on a camping trip or go on a trip and your daughter was coming to visit you? And then the
oh,
stepmother cussing her out. They arguing. So the little girl get mad, walk out the back door, and she in the front yard. And she didn't even know she was outside.
and that's another thing too with blended families. I know we
Crazy.
have people that talk about the blended family, but that's another thing that talks about that too. If you do have, a lot of times you're gonna meet somebody who do have children. That's kind of something to be talked about too before you make that commitment of marrying a blended family. Because what goes on, the biological sometimes put ideas in the child's head. Hey, this individual is not your parent and not your daddy. This is I'm your daddy and all this other stuff. So that plays in that child's mind. So the child don't respect the step parent, and that's another thing too. That stuff had to be addressed before you meet anybody that does have children. You need to sit down and talk. Hey, I'm not gonna allow your children to disrespect me. I'm gonna be there for them, but I'm not gonna play with. I'm not gonna tolerate the disrespect. Talk to the biological father too. Let them know, hey, I don't do drama. Matter of fact, you tell her I don't do drama. Any sign of drama that come, I'm cutting you off. I'm going my separate ways. But some folks they accept that drama, especially guys, they accept that drama. You know she had drama when you first met her, and you still married that drama. Now you want people to feel sorry for you.
I had a
That's
point, but I
crazy.
mean,
We just need to come together as parents and just get our children some help. That's the only thing I can say. And I appreciate you doing this podcast because it needs to be get out to the parents. Watch your kids, especially if you got young kids. Know what they doing, who they on Facebook. A lot of these young kids got social media. If you're under 18, you shouldn't even have a Facebook account. You shouldn't even have a TikTok account if you're under 18. So you have to watch these kids because it's predators on Facebook, it's
Oh
predators
yeah,
on TikTok, it's predators everywhere. I'm 52 and I got people coming in my DM with crazy stuff. So I can imagine if you got a beautiful young girl that's on social media. So we just gotta watch over our kids.
yeah, those too. Cause you got some those that will kill adults. They'll rape adults and kill them too. You know what I'm saying? Like you said with ladies, to the young ladies that be on social media, watch out for these guys on here. You got some crazy jacked up individuals.
Yeah,
And you guys will take you
crazy.
and
That was
kill you,
crazy too.
rape you
I'm
and kill
surprised
you.
you didn't do no podcast about that.
Oh, we're talking about that I mean that stuff is serious. It is. I think the Quan, you want to say anything?
I was gonna make a point, but I didn't know if Brandon wanted to speak because I know he ain't speaking a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say something on that. Kids come first, no matter what the situation is, and whether they're your kids or not, if you see them on the street or outside, whatever, struggling, if you can talk to them, try to help them and be nice to them, and it will end up eventually getting somewhere. Hopefully, just being nice to
Yeah.
And
Just
what's funny,
talking to them, just like don't do that. You see kids outside doing stuff. Sometimes people don't even say anything because then they feel like the mother or father get mad. But I go up to them just being nice to them, like you said, and just say, "Don't do that." You shouldn't be
them.
doing that, baby. And then they'll most time the kids will stop and they'll just run off about their business. But
Like for
I
my
don't know what.
son, he got a couple of friends, they all boys, and they all call me dad because from the beginning I watched all them grow up and I've been disciplining them. I didn't care if they, had a father or not. Whoever didn't, I just made sure I played my role in there. Instead of them doing something out in the streets or something foolish, yo, let's go to the
Why
beach.
we can't see your eye with them shades on?
Oh, but but yeah, I would do things like let's go to the bay. Let's get some sand crabs, or let's take a walk on a boardwalk. Let's do something other than something that would cause you trouble, cause you more and more problems, especially if the parents aren't active around. So I just try to be an example. Like you say, the community has to work.
That's it.
That's what's up right there. Go
Be
ahead.
good adults and take care of the kids and don't do none of this other stupid stuff with them.
That's it.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Don't be they friend. Don't be they buddy. Be they parent. I know
Yeah.
we
Be
press
their
put to
parent.
time. So, Miss King, go ahead and plug in. How can people get in contact with you? How can they follow you on your social media
Who?
platform?
I didn't even hear you. What you say?
No, I'm saying I know. I say go ahead and plug in how people can follow you on your social
Oh, you
media
can you can
platform.
follow me at Arementee Pretty Face King on my IG, and it's the same thing as my Facebook.
And that's what's up. And go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead and plug in your social media outlets and stuff like that. How people can follow you.
I'm on Facebook under Brandon Johnson, and Cottondale, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And if it's really me, because I've been hacked too, but I've got a book club page. If anybody talks to me or whatever, I add them on that too after they add me. So
Okay,
that
That's
way,
awesome.
great.
that
And
way
that's
everybody knows.
Okay.
that's what's up. And the coin, go ahead and plug in what you got going on also.
Yeah, y'all could always reach me at Answer Us Communications. Um or here. And I'm actually I love Walking This Way podcast so much, man. It's you learn so much here from the regular everyday people, and
Mhm.
that's what's needed. The regular
Yep.
skill, the regular average every day.
So
That's it.
man,
That's
and I
it. That's
appreciate
it.
y'all. And also, Miss King, thank you for reaching out to me this morning to talk about
Mhm.
this.
Oh, I
So
got
big
some
shout
more
out to
for you.
you. I know it. I believe it. I believe it. So appreciate you reaching out as well about it. Look forward to talk more with you, chop it up with you as well. So I appreciate you. I thank you. And like I said, we thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Hope what was said tonight and would resonate with you, challenge you. And let's fix everything. We know we got a lot of problems. Now we have the answer. Let's get back to the basics. Let's
That's
take
it.
control of our house. And that's another thing. Single, if you're single, be mindful who you get with, man. Be mindful who
Well,
you
I'm
get
good.
with. Stop laying up with these people that they're not good. And they're not good, and you still lay up with them, and then you think that's gonna change them. It's not. Men and women, y'all be careful who you let, especially to these guys. Stop laying over these girls because they look good. And then you find out she got all type of issues in her life. And then you get her pregnant, you definitely in trouble. Because she gonna take you downtown. And if you do get her pregnant, be man about your business. Just be man about your business.
You gonna take you down fine.
Yeah, she gonna take you down there and they gonna eat you alive. But if you do get her pregnant, be a man, man up, take care of your responsibility. At the end of the day, that's your legacy. That's your bloodline. And to the girls, he ain't not no good. Don't lay up with him. If he's not gonna make you his wife, then don't lay down with him. Now I see a lot of these girls, they rather be girlfriends instead of be wives. And he's not gonna wife you up. carrying his kid, but he'll go marry somebody else, and you stuck. So y'all be careful of that too. So.
Alrighty.
So man, y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all
You
next week here on Walking
too.
This Way's Impact Wars podcast. Remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they're gonna see tomorrow, and they did. So let's live life like it's our last. And by the way, before you go
All
to bed
right.
tonight,
Water.
take your favorite drink, look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself I love you, tell yourself I got your back, tell yourself we're gonna make it, tell yourself we're gonna succeed, tell yourself we are more than conquerors. And I would say you love yourself. So y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night here on Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. Have a blessed Wednesday and prosperous
Mhm.
night.
Bye
Salute to
bye. Good
everybody.
night.
Bye.